They laughed the moment she stepped on the mat. Not because she tripped. Not because she did anything wrong. But simply because of who she was, a quiet, curvy black woman named Aaliyah, walking into a jiu-jitsu gym filled with smug grins and dismissive eyes. It was her first day, but the stares spoke louder than words. The unspoken judgment in that room could have crushed someone with thinner skin. But Aaliyah had walked through fire long before she ever stepped foot on those blue mats. She was 32. Not the age most people started training in martial arts. She wasn't lean or visibly muscular. She didn't have a high ponytail or branded rash guards. What she did have, no one saw coming. The laugh behind the smile. Aaliyah James had always carried herself with grace. But behind the calm demeanor was a lifetime of battles. She was a software engineer by day, working in an industry where she constantly had to prove she belonged. Every boardroom felt like a competition. Every promotion, a war. She wasn't new to being overlooked, underestimated, or written off. But it wasn't until her therapist gently suggested martial arts as a confidence builder that she even considered stepping into a gym. Something to reconnect her to her body. To her strength. To herself. She researched for weeks before choosing Ironclad BJJ, one of the most respected academies in her city. But respect was not something freely given. Not to her. Do you even know what BJJ is? Her first interaction was with a guy named Brett, tall, cocky, early 30s. He didn't ask her name. Just smirked and said, "You know this isn't Zumba, right?" She gave a tight-lipped smile. "I do," she said calmly, tying her white belt. "That's why I'm here." Brett turned to his buddies. "All right then. Let's see what she's got." It wasn't just Brett. The energy was icy. The other women kept their distance. The men were either dismissive or condescending. No one offered to drill with her. She stood awkwardly in the corner while the coach explained techniques. Still, she watched. Listened. Learned. And most of all, endured. Day after day, she came back. And every time, someone asked if she was still trying this out, as if waiting for her to give up. But Aaliyah wasn't there to prove anything to them. She was there to prove something to herself. The secret behind the silence. What no one at Ironclad knew was that Aaliyah already held a brown belt in traditional Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and a purple in Judo. But after a traumatic car accident 2 years earlier, she stopped training. The pain, physical and emotional, was too much. That accident left her in bed for months. She'd lost muscle. She'd lost movement. She'd even lost her mother shortly after. But somehow, through the grief and isolation, she found resolve. She chose Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu not because she was new to combat, but because she wanted to start fresh. As a white belt. To rebuild everything she had lost. And she didn't want shortcuts. She wanted every stripe, every tap, every moment earned again. The breaking point. 6 months in, Aaliyah had gotten stronger. Faster. Smarter. She rolled with intensity, even if no one rolled with her seriously. Except for one coach, Coach Diego. He'd seen something in her. Quiet discipline. Sharp timing. Real talent. He started drilling her during off hours. Helping her refine transitions, guard work, pressure. "Your hips are your power," he told her. "Use them like you used to throw." He knew about her past training. He kept it quiet, just between them. "I want them to see who you are," he said. "Not who they think you are." The challenge. One Friday night open mat, the gym buzzed louder than usual. An out-of-town black belt visiting competition champ had come to roll. Everyone lined up to get around with him. Cameras out. People whispering. His name was Matt. Sharp. Technical. Fast. When it was Aaliyah's turn, she stepped forward. Some chuckled. Someone whispered, "She's about to get folded." Even Matt looked unsure. You sure? He asked. She nodded silently, tying her belt tight. The timer was set for 5 minutes. 14 seconds. The moment the match began, Matt shot for a takedown. Too aggressive. Too predictable. Aaliyah sprawled. Shifted her hips. Spun around and took his back. The gym went quiet. Matt struggled, trying to shake her off. But Aaliyah was already setting the choke. Her legs locked in like steel cables. Rear naked choke. Deep. He tapped. 14 seconds. Silence. Then gasps. Murmurs. Disbelief. Coach Diego clapped from the edge of the mat. And that, gentlemen, is Jiu-Jitsu. The aftermath. Matt smiled, wiped his face, and shook her hand. That was clean, he said. Really clean. But others? They didn't know where to look. Brett? He quietly grabbed his bag and left without a word. Some apologized. Some pretended they hadn't laughed. A few asked to roll with her for the first time ever. But Aaliyah? She didn't gloat. She untied her belt. Folded it neatly. Took a sip of water and bowed out respectfully. She hadn't come to humiliate anyone. She came to reclaim herself. The message. Later that night, Aaliyah sat in her car and finally let herself cry. Not because she tapped out a black belt. But because for the first time in years she felt seen. Not for her skin. Not for her shape. But for her skill. She had walked through pain, ridicule, loss, and silence and still chose kindness. Still chose patience. Still chose to rise. Call to action. If this story touched your heart, tell us in the comments. Have you ever been underestimated and came back stronger? Share your story below. And if you believe in the power of second chances, of quiet strength, of rising in silence and roaring when it counts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Join the movement. Be part of stories that matter. This is Be Kind Always, where every story proves that grace is power, and kindness is strength. See you in the next one.